Shorn, Suffolk Rams. 2 entries in the class. We need that Class 2 Fallborn Suffolk Slickshorn Ram, ringside and ready, please.
Good morning. We're in the Suffolk slick-shared buck show, the Yearling Bucks. The Yearling Buck I'm going to start with, I'll be the first to grant he's not as big a statured buck as we got in second, but a buck for me today. He's a little better in his shoulder. He's a little better way he blends in his underline. He's got a little more turn to his rib cage for me, and he's got a little more muscle. I appreciate things about him. The buck in seconds is a little taller statured buck. A buck for me today, he just gets a little too flat in his rib cage. His shoulder, I'd like to sure change the way it sets in him, and as far as the way his neck set comes out. But a nice pair of yearling bucks to start with in the Slick Suffolk show.
Our next class will be Class 2 Fallborn Suffolk Slickshorn Rams. Single entry in this class. Following this class, we will select your senior champion and reserve senior champion Slickshorn Suffolk buck.
Just a single entry here in this fall buck class. A bucket's got a lot of merit to him, got a lot of good. A bucket's got some thickness down his top and out through his hip and the center part of his leg. A bucket stands on a good set of feet and legs and bone work. A really nice individual. He could stand quite a bit more competition.
Once again, Suffolk exhibitors, your next class will be your senior champion and reserve senior champion drive. Results of your yearling class. First place was Vivian Stevenson on Lazy 5 Ranch 4345. Second place was also Vivian Stevenson on Lazy 5 Ranch 4340. Your fall buck lamb class, that first place was also shown by Vivian Stevenson on Lazy 5 Ranch 4349.
We're not going to take a lot of time. For me today, I'm going to land on the fall buck. He just suits me pretty well the way he's structured and put together in his feet and legs, his bone work. He'll be your senior champion buck. We'll come back and use our first place yearling buck. He'll be your reserve senior champion buck.
Once we get our animals swapped, we will be ready for Class 4. Class 4, that's your yearling Slickshorn Suffolk U class. Class 4. Yearling Ewes. Yearling Ewes will be next. Class 4 should have 3 entries in the class. Following our yearling class, we will do a pair of yearling ewes. We have a single entry in that class. And then we will need our fall-born Slickshorn ewe lamb. Katahdin exhibitors, Katahdin exhibitors, Katahdin exhibitors, be on the ready. We will be calling for you in a few moments.
And the slick-sheared Suffolk yearling ewes. The yearling ewe I'm going to start with. There's just an awful lot of product in this female. When you get up over top of her, she's really big in her cage and up in that rack, and out her loin and her hip. Center part of her leg is just really, really outstanding. A female for me today, she's standing on a little more substance of bone compared to the next two we got in line. I like her as far as the way her shoulder lays in her, the way she gets out and goes around the ring. The ewe in second, another ewe that's got a lot of muscle to her. I'd like to just change just a nickel off the front part of her shoulder, maybe give her just a little more slope to it, change the way her neck comes out compared to the one we win with. But another female in her own right that's got a lot of muscle and substance of bone. She's got a lot of turn to her rib. The ewe we end up the class with, a ewe maybe getting a tick plainer in the front part of her third of her body for me today. Kind of gets a little bit shallow in her flank compared to the two right above her. But another Suffolk ewe, it's got a lot of muscle and thickness down through her top and now working into her hip. I'd just like to change a little bit on her pasturing area compared to the two right above her.
Our next class will be pair of Slickshorn yearling ewes. One entry in the class. Results of our Suffolk Slickshorn yearling ewe class. First place and congratulations, Paige Minter. Second place was Vivian Stevenson, and third was also exhibited by Vivian Stevenson. Vivian Stevenson also exhibited your first place pair of yearling ewes. We are ready for Class 6. Class 6, that's your fall Slickshorn Suffolk ewe class. Single entry in this class as well. Following our fall class, we will be selecting your senior champion and reserve senior champion Slickshorn ewe.
Only a single entry in the Suffolk Fall class. A Hewitt's got, she's a good sheep in her own right. She's got some thickness and muscle into her, and she handles really fresh and good to the touch. A female that stands on a good set of feet and legs, she could stand to quite a bit more competition, to be honest.
Results of our fall class. First place, and congratulations, Vivian Stevenson. We're now ready to select your senior champion and reserve senior champion, Slickshorn Suffolk ewe.
We're going to make this fairly fast. For me today, I'm going to stick with my 2 yearling ewes. You'll be your senior champion, reserve senior champion.
Results of your senior champion drive. From your yearling ewe division, first place and your senior champion, congratulations, Paige Minter on 58.66. Your reserve senior champion, also from your yearling ewe division, congratulations, Vivian Stevenson on Lazy 5 Ranch 43.30. We have no Slickshorn Suffolk ewe lambs. So not only was Paige your senior champion, but she was also your overall champion. So that concludes our Suffolk show. I believe we are ready for our Katahdins. Class 7, Katahdin yearling rams, please, in the show ring. White Dorper exhibitors, we need you and your entries to the South Ring, please. White Dorper show, getting ready to start in the South Ring.
We're on the Katahdin yearling buck side. This is an awful nice pair of yearling bucks out here in class. I think you can switch them up however you want and justify it. For me today, I like the buck I'm going to start with. As far as I get him into motion, he's wide at the ground and he's real true and he's hawk. The way he goes around the ring, a buck that's got. He's a little, maybe a little greener than the buck we have in second. I don't know, maybe he's been out working, but a buck that, when you get your hands on him, he's straight down his top, and boy, he's got a big loin in him for as green as he is on his sides. But a buck that stands on a really good set of feet and legs. He's got enough substance to his bone for me. He's real nice in his front third of his body and his chest floor. The buck in second is a buck that's a little more got more condition on him. He's maybe appears and he handles with a little more turn to his rib. For me, a buck that when I get him into motion, he gets narrower at the ground a little more, doesn't handle his rear legs quite as well as the buck who win the class, but an awful good pair of yearling bucks.
Our next class in our Katahdin show will be Class 8. Class 8, your Fall Katahdin Ram. Fall Katahdin Ram. Following our Fall Katahdin Ram class, we will be selecting your Senior Champion and Reserve Senior Champion Katahdin Ram.
Only one entry in this fall buck class, but once again, a buck that's got some length of body. He's real good on his feet and legs. He's straight in his lines. A buck that's well deserving, and he could stand some more competition.
Please bring in those first and second yearling rams for our Senior Champion Katahdin Ram Drive. Results of Class 8, your Fallborn Katahdin Rams. First place, and congratulations, Brady Kessler.
For me, I think this is pretty cut and dried. I thought that pair of yearling bucks were awful close, and I thought they were both really high quality individuals. For me today, we're going to stick with your 2 yearling bucks. They'll be your senior champion, reserve senior champion.
Results of our senior champion and reserve senior champion Katahdin Ram Drive. Your senior champion from Class 7, congratulations, Brady Kessler on CHR 22. Your reserve senior champion, also from Class 7, congratulations, Riker Beckmeyer on FRA 7272. In the ring at this time, we are ready for Class 9. Class 9, Katahdin Ram Lambs. Should have 3 entries in this class. Class 9, Katahdin Spring Ram Lambs. Following our Katahdin Ram Lamb class, we will be selecting your champion and reserve champion, Katahdin Ram. Please have those senior champ and reserve senior champion ringside and ready.
Here in the spring Katahdin Buck Lamb class, the buck I'm going to win with for me today, I think the buck, he gets around the ring the best. For me today, he's really straight down his top line. He's good out through his, as far as you get a hands on him, as far as his loin, and he percents out really nice. He moves around the ring really good, and he covers up his tracks. He's got enough turn to his rib. I like the way his shoulder lays and his neck comes out. He's just an awful easy winner for me in this class today. The buck in second, a buck that he's real nice in his shoulder, a buck that I'd like to sure change him in his top line a little bit when he gets around the ring, but I can say that about the third place buck too. I think there's a little more product in this buck in second. As far as when you get your hands on him, he's a little thicker, he's a little bolder in his rib, and especially he's a little fuller in his loin and out through his hip area compared to the buck we stand in third. A buck in third, just greener to the touch, a buck that's maybe younger than the rest of them, but just not quite there as far as the maturity and as far as much condition on him as the rest.
Results of Class 9. Class 9, your Katahdin Ram Lambs. First place and your junior champion. Congratulations, Riker Beckmeyer on FRA 7579. Second place was exhibitor Brady Kessler. He was also your reserve junior champion on CHR 22-229. And third place was also exhibited by Brady Kessler. We are now selecting your champion and reserve champion, Katahdin Ram.
I think we got there's three individuals that um, gets pretty close in my mind. The two your two division champion bucks. For me today, I'm going to land on the yearling buck. I just like his top line. He's smooth. He's real straight down his line. A buck that gets out on his feet and legs and stays pretty true when you get him into motion. A buck that stands on some substance. I think there's enough product, enough turn to this buck's rib. I just think he's just greener than the rest. He's just not. I think as you go forward and he gets more condition on him, I think he'll have plenty of turn to his rib. The spring buck lamb is going to be your reserve buck, a real neat pattern buck. I really appreciate the front third of this sheep. I appreciate when you get him into motion. Once again, he really gets around. He tracks nice. When you get your hands on him, he's thick enough and he's opened up enough. A buck that, for me, I'd just like to change him just a little bit, the way he comes out of his shoulder into his rack. But I know they're not supposed to be perfectly level, but a buck that, when you get him, like I said, he's an awful nice individual. When you get him into motion again, he stays awful true at the ground. I think we got a nice pair to make your champion, reserve champion, Katahdin buck.
And your champion, Katahdin Ram. From your senior division, congratulations, Brady Kessler on CHR 22. Your reserve champion, Katahdin Ram. From your junior division, congratulations, Riker Beckmeyer on FRA 7579. We did have one class that got omitted from our show order. We do have a pair of Ram Lambs. Brady Kessler will be exhibiting that pair. He's going back to the barn. Our next class will be Class 11, your Katahdin Yearling U class. Class 11. We got to round up a sheep and swap some sheep around, but we'll be ready for our Yearling U class here in just a moment. Well, we got our wayward sheep caught, and now we are ready for Class 11. Class 11, yearling Katahdin ewe lambs. 3 entries in the class.
For me today, I'm going to leave them where they're standing there. The yearling ewe I'm going to start with, just a lot of body in this female, and you get up over top of her. She's really bold and big, round in her rib cage. She's got a big flat loin in her, really good on her feet and legs when you get her into motion. Gets out and takes a free and easy stride. I just think she's a pretty logical choice to win this class. The ewe in second, another ewe that's got enough turn to her rib, and she's got some, when you get up over top over in her loin, she doesn't disappoint you any. A female that maybe just not quite as fluid and easy on the move in her stride compared to the ewe. We win the class, but another female that's real nice in her shoulder and her neck comes out where it needs to be. I think she's just an awful nice one too. If we can change the way she gets around the ring, she can move up pretty easy. The ewe we're going to round out the class with a ewe, maybe not quite as much of her today. A ewe that's getting a little soft on her feet and legs. When you get her into motion, she wants to get a little more restricted in her stride. She just needs to take a longer stride for me today to get her up any higher in class.
Our next class in our Katahdin ewe show will be pair of yearling ewes. Results of Class 11. Class 11 yearling ewes. First place, and congratulations, Riker Beckmeyer. Second place was exhibitor Brady Kessler, and third was also Brady Kessler. Brady exhibited your first place pair of yearling ewes. In the ring at this time, we are ready for Class 13. Class 13 Fall Katahdin ewe lambs. Following our fall ewe lamb class, we will be selecting your senior champion and reserve senior champion Katahdin ewe. Please have those first and second yearling ewes ringside and ready. We have had a Yeti tumbler turned in here at the announcer stand. It is from the 23 National Corridale Show. We have a class winner. It was the Corridale Junior Show class winner. This tumbler was found in the ladies' restroom.
We're in the Katahdin Fall ULAM class. The U I'm going to elect to start with, I just think there's so much more of her. Especially you get your hands on her loin. She's real big and flat. When you get her into motion, she gets around the ring good enough for me. She's standing on a little more substance of bone than our U in second. The U in second's really pretty from the profile when she's propped up. I probably like her as far as where her chest fore lays better in her shoulder than our class winner. But when I get to hands on her, she just narrows up more than the U lammer we win with, and she's a little frailer in her bone work than the U we win with. So this is the way I'm going to see them today.
Our next class will be our senior champion, Katahdin Drive. Senior champion, Katahdin Drive. Need those first and second place yearlings and fall ewe lambs. Results of Class 13, fall ewe lamb class. First place, and congratulations, Brady Kessler. Second place was exhibitor Riker Beckmeyer.
For me today, I'm going to stick with my pair of yearling ewes. They're going to be your senior champion, reserve senior champion. I think just an awful stout big pair of yearling ewes.
Your senior champion from your yearling ewe class. Congratulations, Riker Beckmeyer on FRA 6663. Your reserve senior champion, also from your yearling ewe class. Congratulations, Brady Kessler on SRS 580. Our next class in our Katahdin ewe show will be your ewe lamb class. Spring Katahdin ewe lambs should have 5 entries in this class.
Elam, I'm going to start with just a really, really pretty female from the side. And when you get her into motion, boy, she just gets out and gets around the ring and really glides. When you get your hands on her, she actually surprises you probably when you lay your hands on her. She's a lot thicker and a lot bigger of her loin and back through that rack area than you really think she'd be when you just standing off the side of her. But I think for me today, I really like this one, and she's going to win this class. Got a bigger structured female next in line, a female that's got a really nice turn to her rib and real bold. When you get your hands on her, I'd just like to drop her chime down in her some more. She gets real pointed, runs uphill pretty hard in her chime area. When you get into her rack area, there's just not much there. But a female that's big in her loin, she comes out into her hip nice. Another female that gets around the ring nice. If we can change that about her, I think she challenges our first place pretty hard. Then we come in next in line, another real pretty female, spotted up female here. Real pretty from the side, but when you get your hands on her, there just isn't near as much sheep there compared to the two who was right above her today to get her up any higher in class. And we come next in line, a female that's just not quite as good in her lines, as far as especially in her top line. And when you get her into motion, need to change that about her. And I'd sure like to just stouten her up a little bit to get her up any higher in class. Then we round out the class with a female that is, for me today, she just awful green. She's straight in her lines and made good. Just a female that needs a lot more time on feed compared to the ones above her.
Our next class will be pair of ewe lambs. Pair of ewe lambs will be next. Results of Class 14, Spring Katahdin ewe lambs. First place, and congratulations, Riker Beckmeyer. Second place was exhibited by Brady Kessler. Third, Riker Beckmeyer. Fourth, Brady Kessler. And fifth, Brady Kessler. Results of our pair of Katahdin ewe lambs. First place, and congratulations, Riker Beckmeyer. Second place was exhibited by Brady Kessler. Our next class will be our champion and reserve champion, Katahdin ewe drive.
For me today, I'm going to stick with this pair of yearling ewes up here on the top. I just think they're awful nice. Just an awful high quality set of yearling ewes, like I said in the senior drive. They'll be your champion reserve Katahdin ewe.
And hey guys, let's get pictures. with the judge before we go into our next breed. We'll take just a few minutes here and get pictures. But results of your Katahdin U Drive. Your champion, Katahdin U, from your senior division. Congratulations, Riker Beckmeyer on FRA 6663. Your reserve champion, Katahdin U, also from your senior division. Congratulations, Brady Kessler on SRS 580. Once again, congratulations to all of our Katahdin exhibitors. Katahdin exhibitors, it's my apologies. We have at least one Katahdin flock, if not two. We got two Katahdin flocks, and I did not see that until after I told you guys to get your pictures. So we'll get to flock class, and then we'll get on with our Shropshire show. Guys, we've been doing young flock. So results of our Katahdin flock class. Your first place flock was exhibited by Riker Beckmeyer. Second place was Brady Kessler. And again, exhibitors, I apologize. I did not realize we had a flock class. So thank you so much. Appreciate all the Katahdin exhibitors and a great Katahdin show. And I think we are now ready to start our Shropshire show. We need those Class 17. Class 17 Shropshire Yearling Rams should have a single entry in this class. Class 17. Following our yearling class, we have our fall-born Shropshire Rams should have 3 entries in Class 18.
Just a single entry in your Shropshire Yearling Buck class. A buck that you really do appreciate about his breed type, as far as his ear and his hair coat. A buck it's got some thickness to him. A buck that stands on a big foot and quite a bit of bone. Let's bring him back in the drive and we'll see how he stacks up.
Results of Class 17 Yearling Shropshire Rams. First place, and congratulations, Vivian Stevenson. Our next class in our Shropshire show will be Fall Shropshire Rams. Fall-born Shropshire Rams. 3 entries in the class. Following our fall Shropshire Ram class, we will be selecting your senior champion and reserve senior champion. Please have your Shropshire yearling ram ringside and ready.
The Shropshire buck. The buck I'm going to start with, a buck that stands on the most substance of bone as anything we got in the class. A buck that is really nice about his head and his ear and breed type. Buck that when you get your hands on him, he's full down his rack and out through that loin and hip area. And a buck that when you get him into motion, I really like the way he travels. He gets out and he's real free and easy. He stays up good in his chest floor. I think this is an awful nice individual will win this class. A buck in second, a buck that gets a little maybe drier as far as in his touch. Buck, he's got a real nice rack and a good loin in him. Buck just needs a little more freshened up some as far as just needs a little more condition on him. He gets kind of dry in his rib. A bucket, when you get him into motion, he doesn't want to travel off his front end quite as well as a bucket we stand in the first hole. A bucket does stand on some substance of bone and got some circumference of bone to him, but we need to change him off his front end to get him up past the buck that we win the class with. A buck in third, a big long-bodied buck, a buck that frails up quite a bit in his feet or his bone structure. A buck that doesn't handle his feet and his rear legs especially quite as well as the two we got right above him today to get him up any higher in class.
Our next class will be your senior champion and reserve senior champion Ram Drive. Please bring in that first place Shropshire yearling ram. Results of Class 18 Fallborn Shropshire Rams. First place, and congratulations, Cassidy Shakel. Second place was exhibitor Zachary Rife, and third, Abby Hughes. Shropshire exhibitors, your next class will be Class 19 Spring Shropshire Ram Lambs.
Well, my senior champion buck's going to be this fall buck straight ahead of me. He's my pretty easy decision. Then it gets a lot tougher between your yearling buck or your second place fall buck. For me today, I'm going to go ahead and use my yearling buck. He gets out and travels a little freer and better than our senior buck that was second in that class. He'll be a reserve senior champion buck.
And your senior champion from Class 18, your Fallborn Shropshire Rams. Congratulations, Cassidy Shakel on 2680. Your reserve senior champion from your yearling division. Congratulations, Vivian Stevenson on Sugar Ridge 2215, Blowin' Smoke. Our next class will be Class 19, Springborn Shropshire Ram Lambs. 5 entries in the class, Spring Shropshire Ram Lambs. Just a reminder, exhibitors, the silent auction items will be ending today at 11:30. We'd certainly encourage everybody to slip through the exhibit hall and check out your bids. Make sure that you are winning the bid or you have your highest and best bid on the sheet. Silent auction items will close at 11:30.
I apologize for taking a fair bit of time. These two sheep intrigue me both a lot. They're two ends of the spectrum, so we got a sheep that is there and maybe a little past there for his age. If I was to change this sheep I'm going to start with, I'd like to sure change him through the front part of his body. He gets plenty deep in the front third of that his body and down into his chest for me compared to the rest of him. But a sheep, when you get your hands on him, he's got an awful lot of muscle working down that rack and out in that loin and his hip and the center part of his leg. He stands on a really good set of feet and legs, and he gets around the ring plenty good. For me, I just can't beat him today, I guess. There's a lot of things that intrigue me about this little sheep I got in second. I'm hoping he's really, really young. The sheep's got a wonderful touch for his no more condition he's got on him. He is super green, absolutely has nothing on his ribs. He stands on a big old foot. When you get around the ring, he probably moves as good as anything we got out here. For me today, there's just not enough of him. I guess I couldn't convince myself that I needed to get around a sheep that we win with, projecting that he's going to have more than enough down the road. But this sheep's intriguing. He's made awful well. That's a very nice sheep, young man. The buck here in third, another big muscle buck. He's got plenty of substance, and as far as he's plenty thick enough out through his quarter. Sheep for me, he gets a little tight in his heart. He gets a little he gets a little tight up through his rib cage. I'd just like to bust him open, especially when you come back into his rack area versus the two are right above him. And then we come out here next in class of sheep and four. Sheep for me, I'd just like to change the front third of his body. I'd like to change the way his neck comes out of his shoulder quite a bit to get him up any higher. I'd like to thicken him up and stouten him up through the center part of his leg to get him up any higher today too. And then we round out with just a big muscle sheep, a real stout, long-bodied sheep. For me, he's just too coarse in the front third of his body to get him up any higher today.
We do have A single entry in our pair of Shropshire Rams. Pair of Shropshire Rams will be next. Following our pair of Ram Lambs, we will select your champion and reserve champion Shropshire Rams. So please have those senior champion and reserve senior ringside and ready. Results of Class 19 Springborn Shropshire Rams. First place, and congratulations, Vivian Stevenson. Second place was exhibitor Zachary Rife. Third, Abby Hughes. Fourth was Nicholas Rife. Fifth place was Vivian Stevenson. And sixth was also Vivian Stevenson. So if we could have your junior champion and reserve junior champion, our senior and reserve senior champion in the ring, we will select your champion and reserve champion, Shropshire Ram.
We're a Shrop Buck show. I think we've had an awful nice show. For me today, there's one individual that he just kind of runs to the top of the class and says, I'm here and you better use me. That's going to be your senior champion buck. He's going to be your champion buck. For me, for reserve, I'm going to come back and I'm going to get my spring buck lamb. He'll be your reserves champion Shropshire buck. Congrats, guys.
And your champion, Shropshire Ram, from your senior division, congratulations, Cassidy Shakel on 2680. Your reserve champion, Shropshire Ram, was your junior division champion. Once again, congratulations, Vivian Stevenson on Sugar Ridge, 2303 Superstitious. Congratulations once again to all of our Shropshire Ram exhibitors. In the ring at this time, we have Class 21 yearling Shropshire ewes. These ewes were born 9/5 of 21, September 5th of 21, through January 20th of 22. 5 entries, oh my. We have a break in the class, guys. We have a break in the Shropshire ewes. Yeah, we should end up with 5. So we've got Abby Hughes with 1, Zach Rife with 1, Cassidy Shakel with 1, Vivian Stevenson with 1, and Emily Grant with 1. Our first class of yearling ewes. These yearling ewes will be born September 5th of 21 through January 20th of 22. Evidently, the class breaks didn't get posted on the Showman app. Okay, I believe we're right now. Class 21, yearling Shropshire ewes. Dwarper exhibitors, your show is ready to start in the South Ring. Dwarper show, ready to start in the South Ring.
This first class is Shropshire Unused. My class winner, I think she does it pretty handily and pretty easily. I'll be the first at Grant. Yeah, she's probably got a little more cover on her than she needs to, but so do I. But boy, when you get up over top of her, she is huge. Her loin is big, her hips big, center part of her leg is big. And for as big as she is everywhere and much cover she gets on, when she gets out and goes, boy, she just cover her tracks very, very well. She just got to win this pretty easily for me. The U in second, a U that maybe doesn't want to cooperate quite as well today. Another U that I think is big up top, up high when you get up over top of her. You that if I'd just change her a little, I'd like to change her way her neck, especially when she goes into motion. She actually looks a lot better when she travels than when she's propped up. She wants to fight the girl and doesn't really want to get up and give her head. But a female that I think has got to be second for me today for just a sheer standpoint of her mass and her muscle and the roundness of her cage. The U in third, a real big, long-bodied female. For me, she gets too tight in her flank compared to the front third of her body. Excuse me. She gives up too much muscle shape to the center part of her leg compared to the rest of her. I just need to change her there. If we can do that, we can move her up the line a fair bit. The U next in line, a U for me, when she gets out and goes around the ring, she gets a little too straight and too posty off her rear legs. I need to change that about her. I'd like to sure just change her about her flex and her posturing. She gets a little too soft when she goes into motion. If we can change some things about her, we can get her up higher too. Then we round out you next in line, a big-bodied you, got a lot of mass to her. Just gets a little too plain from the side compared to their contemporaries that stand above her today.
Results of Class 21. Class 21, first place, and congratulations, Cassidy Shakel. Second place was exhibitor Emily Grant. Third, Abby Hughes. Fourth, Zach Reif. Fifth place was Vivian Stevenson. Once again, congratulations to those Class 21 Yearling U exhibitors. Our next class will be Class 22. Class 22 Shropshire Yearling Ewes. These ewes were born February 1 through March 15. February 1 through March 15. 5 entries in the class, Class 22. Following Class 22, we will show our pair of yearling Shropshire ewes. Class 23 will be pair of Shropshire yearling ewes.
this class didn't sort near as easy as I'd have liked it to. For me today, I guess the ewe I'm going to land on is the ewe she touches the best as far as her touch comes back to her. Most importantly, for me, and whether you want to be, I guess I'm old enough that I still believe that we got breeds for a reason, and they need to kind of look like what they're supposed to. I think she's as close to being ideal in the Shropshire breed type as what we got out here in class, and she's gonna win this class easily. Would I like to change some things about her? You bet. I wish she'd get out around the ring. I wish maybe she'd just give her neck a little bit better, and maybe she's just having a bad day. Her neck comes out right of her shoulder. It's not like it comes out low. But boy, she's wanting to fight these girls something fierce. And when she's doing that, she wants to get a little bit rough in her top line. As far as when she gets out, she doesn't want to get out and move the best either. But like I said, boy, you get your hands on her. She's right in her condition. Her touch is amazing. She's got plenty of thickness. And she by far presents the best from her 13th rib back as anything we got. A problem sheep in second. I like this sheep. She is big, big, big from her rack back into her loin, her hip, and the center part of her leg. My problem with this sheep is I got to change her breed type quite a bit to even think about getting around the ewe we win the class with. The ewe in third, a ewe that when I thought she needs to go second. When I get my hands on her, she's soft to the touch. She's not near as firm as the two we had in front of her. Once again, I'd like to maybe just change her ear a little compared to the one that we win the class with. If we do that and we harden her up and firm her up, we can probably get her up a line quite a bit too. A female that gets out, she travels well. She's got a really good set of feet and legs on her. She stands on a good set of bone. I just need to harden her up a little bit and maybe nitpick about her ear just a little compared to the one that wins the class. Then we come in next in the line, a ewe that's just a big old brood ewe, real round bodied, got a lot of muscle, just gets too plain from the side, gets too deep in the front third of her body for me today to get her up any higher in class. Then we round out the top 5 yearling ewes. Ewe gets flat in her rib design. Ewe doesn't have as much shape in her stifle. Just getting to straighten her from her hooks to her pins and widen her out.
Our next class will be pair of Shropshire yearling ewes. Pair of yearling ewes will be next. Single entry in this class. Results of Class 22. Class 22. First place, and congratulations, Cassidy Shakel. Second place was exhibitor Abby Hughes. Third, Riggin Klotz. Fourth place exhibitor Vivian Stevenson. And fifth was Camden Corey. Once again, congratulations to all of those Class 22 Shropshire yearling ewe exhibitors. Following our pair of yearling ewe class, we will be ready for Class 24 Fall Shropshire ewe lambs. Fall-born Shropshire ewe lambs, Class 24, will be next. Should have 3 entries in our fall class. We'd like to take this opportunity and thank some friends of the Used Sheep Expo. Some of our sponsors for our show include Barn Talk Livestock, Bruce Brothers Suffolk, East Star Livestock, Ellsbury Seed Sales, Ethan Ellsbury, Gail Donkers, Hancock County Ag Association, the Hancock County Tourism Association, Integrity Sales, Mike Crowder, Katahdin International, Kennedy Brothers, Lazy 5 Ranch, Phil Crome, Select Livestock Service, Gary Saylor, Storms Family, Sugar Hills Transport, and Willoughby Livestock Sales. Once again, we'd certainly like to give a big tip of the Resistol to our show sponsors.
Fall ewe lambs. I got a ewe lamb, just a real pretty from the side. She's propped up. She's shallow, and her far as and her underline goes, her neck comes out where it needs to. Just a real nice individual. And you get her out into motion, she excels the class when you get her out and travel. The ewe lamb in second, a little bigger bodied female, a little rounder in her rib. Them's all good things, but when we put that into, mainly we get into this female and we get her into motion. I'd like to just change her in her chest floor when she gets out and goes. She drops out of her and she gets a little deeper and plainer in her chest floor. But a female, that's another one. Her neck comes out right. She's big and around in her body and out her loin. Just an awful nice one. Like I said, if we can change the front third of her body just a nickel, we could sure enough get around the one that wins. Then we round out the class with a female that is, she gets out and travels really nice. Her chest floor is up in her where it needs to be. For me, just not near enough of her today compared to the two that was right above her to get her up any higher today in class.
Our next class will be your senior champion and reserve senior champion drive. We'll need those first and second place yearling ewes from class 21 and 22, and our first and second place ewe from our fall ewe lamb class, class 24. Results of class 24, your fall Shropshire ewe lamb class. First place, and congratulations, Cassidy Shakel. Second place was Emily Grant, and third, Nicholas Reif. Please bring in those first and second place yearling ewes from class 21 and class 22, please. First and second place yearling ewes. Shropshire exhibitors, your next class will be class 25, your spring ewe lamb class. This class was split as well. Basically, we need all January ewe lambs. January ewe lambs, class 25 will be next. Following 25 will be obviously 26, and those are basically all February ewe lambs. And then we will have a March ewe lamb class. Class 25, January, Shropshire ewe lambs will be next.
Let's give these young people a nice round of applause in the Shropshire, the senior U drive. I think there's one female that I landed on, and I still like her quite a bit. I know she's probably got a little more on her than she needs, but I think that one's just awful nice. Boy, when you get your hands on her, she touches you back so good, even though her added condition. That's going to be your yearling you out of your first class. She's going to be your senior champion you. And for me today, I'm going to come back. I'm going to project this yearling you out of the second class. She's just having a bad day. But I like a lot of things about her, too. I like her extension up through her front end and the way she touches also. I wish maybe we could just get her to get out and move and we could get a better look for her. Maybe she challenges the U we use a little harder. But for me today, that's the way I see them. We're going to like them.
And your senior champion from Class 21, congratulations, Cassidy Shakel on 1181. Your reserve senior champion from Class 22, also Cassidy Shakel on 2549. Once again, congratulations to all of our senior champion Shropshire U exhibitors. Our next class will be our January Shropshire U Lambs. January Shropshire U Lambs, Class 25 in the ring. Should have 7 entries in this class.
Elam I'm going to start with. I think where she excels at class is her length of body, especially from her 13th rib back. When you get her out into motion, she's probably the freest and easiest when she gets around the ring and she really gets out and glides and travels. Is she the thickest one in the class? By far, no. I think she puts the most good things together. I like the way her neck comes out, her shoulder lays. I just think she does a lot of them things good for me today, and she's going to win the class. The stout, thick one is the Eula in second. Eulama is when you get up over her rack, she's big and her loin's big. Eulama, when I get her into motion, I'd like to just see her get out and travel just a little freer and easier. Eulama, I'd just like to shallow her up in her chest for a little bit, make her balance in her underline better compared to our class winner to get her to round the one we win with. The next one in line, Eulama, is a pretty one when she's got her propped up. Eulama gets a little plainer from the side once again. Eulama, when you get her into motion, she's the narrowest at the ground compared to the two of us right in front of her. For me today, she's got to stand third. The Ulam next in line, the fourth, the Ulam, I just need to change the way her neck comes out once again. I need to change her front, the way her shoulder lays in the front end of that sheep. I need to just make her a little better when she gets into the motion compared to the three that was above her to get her up any higher today in class. Then we round out the top five with another Ulam once again. Her neck doesn't come out quite right the way it needs to. It comes out a little more further down into her shoulder blade. Ulam, when you get your hands on her, she doesn't disappoint you any. She's got a real nice touch. Her rack's big and her loin's good. Just the Ulam, we just need to change a few of them things. We can get her up higher in class today.
In our Shropshire show, our next class will be Class 26. Class 26, February, Shropshire Ewe-Lambs. February, Shropshire Ewe-Lambs in the ring, please. Should be 9 entries in this class. Results of Class 25. Class 25, your January Shropshire Ewe-Lamb class. First place, and congratulations, Riggin Klotz. Second place, Abby Hughes. Third, Emma Chandler. Fourth place exhibitor, Jace Maddox. Fifth, Emily Grant. Sixth place was Vivian Stevenson. And seventh, Nicholas Reif. Once again, congratulations to those Class 25 January Shropshire Ewe-Lamb exhibitors. Are we missing Hayes Klotz? She's scratched. We only have 8.
Yeah, I'm going to start with far as it goes, style, way she's made right. Her chest force up in her good, and her touch touches you right back. Gets around the ring excellently on a set of feet and legs. She just a pretty logical choice to win this class pretty handily. The next in line, a little bigger structured ULAM. ULAM has got some thickness to her. When you get your hands on her, she doesn't disappoint you. Another ULAM that gets around the ring nice, just not near as much total mass and body as the ULAM we got in front of her. The ULAM, a real big bodied ULAM next in line. ULAM is going to tip the scales heavier than the two above her, but Ulama, when you get back and start analyzing her, you get her into motion. She wants to get a little looser in her structure. She wants to get a little looser in her, especially in that shoulder, and gets a little deeper and plainer in her chest floor when she goes around the ring. But when the girls got her gathered up, she's really attractive from the side. I just need to change that about her when she's on the go. The next ULAM in line, ULAM shortens up some from flank to flank. ULAM, when you get her out into motion, just sure got to change the way her neck comes out of her shoulder for me today to get her up any higher in class. Then we round out the top five with a ULAM, just really pretty compact for me. A ULAM, it's got a lot of thickness and stoutness to her, but for me today, she just not, they're not near enough of her as far as total length and structure compared to the ones above her to get her any higher today.
In our Shropshire show, your next class will be Class 27, Marchborn, Shropshire Ewe Lambs. 3 entries in the class. Results of Class 26, your February Shropshire Ewe Lamb class. First place, and congratulations, Cassidy Shakel. Second place was Braylon Porter. Third, Vivian Stevenson. Fourth place was also exhibited by Vivian Stevenson. Fifth, Jace Maddox. 6, Camden Corey. 7, Zachary Reif. And 8th was Tinley Corey. Once again, congratulations to all of those Class 26 February-born Shropshire Ewe Lambs. Following Class 27, our March Shropshire Ewe Lamb class, we will need our pair of Shropshire Ewe Lambs. Pair of Shropshire Ewe Lambs will be next. Just a single entry in that class, and then we will have our junior champion and reserve junior champion drive.
Elam, I'm going to start with, we're going to leave them the way they are. Elam, I'm going to start with, she just got a little more touch to her. As far as she comes back and meets your hand, Elam she's got a real nice touch, and she's good from her 13th rib back. She ties into her hip loin junction better than probably our U in second. She's a little smoother shouldered than our U in second. When you get her into motion, she gets out and gets around the ring a little better than the U we got in second. The U in second, real long-bodied, but kind of female. A ewe lamb that gets a little plainer and deeper in the front third of her body for me today. A ewe lamb that maybe just doesn't quite get around the ring like the ewe lamb we got in the first hole. And then we round out with the ewe lamb. A ewe lamb that shortens up some. A ewe lamb, boy, when you get her into motion, she wants to get really up out of her spine. We just need to change them things about her to get her up any higher today.
Our next class will be pair of Shropshire ewe lambs. Pair of Shropshire ewe lambs will be next. Results of Class 27, your March Shropshire ewe lamb class. First place, and congratulations, Stockton Klotz. Second and third place was exhibited by Vivian Stevenson. Once again, congratulations to all of those Class 27 March-born Shropshire ewe lamb exhibitors. We are now ready to select your junior champion and reserve junior champion Shropshire ewe. From Class 25, your January class, first place was exhibited by Reagan Klotz, second place, Abby Hughes. From Class 26, your first place exhibitor, Cassidy Shakel, second was Braylon Porter. And from Class 27, your first place exhibitor, Stockton Klotz, second place was exhibited by Vivian Stevenson. Results of your pair class, your first place pair was exhibited by Vivian Stevenson. We'll need your senior champion and reserve senior champion Shropshire ewe ringside and ready. We will be selecting your champion and reserve champion immediately following our junior champion drive. Fitted Dorset exhibitors and animals. Your show is starting in the South Ring. Fitted Dorsets, South Ring.
Hi, for your junior champion Shropshire ewe. I think for me it's kind of a two-dog race. The ewe is straight ahead from me. She's going to be your junior champion ewe. Just really like the touch on this female and her rib. She's got the right amount of turn to her rib. She's shallow and good in her chest for her. I just think she's awful nice. For me, for a reserve, we're going to use our January ewe lamb for a reserve. Another ewe lamb, real nice female as far as the way she's put together and gets out and moves really, really well. Just doesn't have quite the touch compared to their ewe lamb we use for your junior champion. Nice group of females. Let's give these kids a nice round of applause.
And your junior champion, Shropshire ewe from Class 26, your February ewe lamb class. Congratulations, Cassidy Shakel. on 8. And your reserve junior champion from your January ULAM class, congratulations, Riggin Klotz, on 32.64. We are now selecting your champion and reserve champion, Shropshire U. From your senior division, we have Cassidy Shakel, your senior champion from class 21, and your reserve senior champion was also Cassidy Shakel from class 22. And once again, your junior champion exhibitor, Cassidy Shakel from class 26, and your reserve junior champion from class 25, Riggin Klotz.
Let's give these Shropshire exhibitors a really nice round of applause. I'm awful happy with the 4 I got out here. I think this breed kind of struggled in the direction they go, but I think this is a well set of females that I think I'm happy anyway. I guess they got a lot of touch to them. They're shallow enough and they get out and they move really good. If you want to say, yeah, we need to tweak them a little as far as here and there, yeah, but that's on everything. For me today, there's 2 females that hit me pretty hard. I still ain't made up my mind exactly, but I'm going to go out, I'm going to walk them one more time, and I'll get you a champion reserve U.
And your champion, Shropshire U, from your senior division, congratulations, Cassidy Shakel, on Shakel 1181. And your reserve champion, Shropshire U, from your junior division, congratulations, Cassidy Shakel, on Shakel 8. I'm not going to make the same mistake. Do we have a Shropshire flock? I think we do. I think we do. So we have our Shropshire flock class will be next. Slick Shorn, Polled Dorset exhibitors. Slick Shorn, Polled Dorset exhibitors. We need those yearling rams ringside and ready, please. Polled Dorset yearling rams ringside and ready, please. We have an earbud turned in that was found in the ladies' restroom in the exhibit hall. So check your ears. If you are missing an earbud, come to the announcer stand and ring 1, and I might have it. Our next class in our Dorset show will be Class 31. Class 31 Fallborn Polled Dorsets. Ringside and ready, please.
Only got one entry. Bucket's got some thickness and stoutness. He stands on some substance of bone. A bucket got some turn to his rib. We'll just bring him back in the drive and see how he stacks up with the rest of them we see.
Our silent auction items are going to close in 3 minutes. So I would suggest if you have interest in winning an item, take a hike to the exhibit building and make sure that you have your winning bid on the sheet. The silent auction items will close at 11:30. In the ring at this time, we have Class 31, our Fallborn Polled Slickshorn Dorset Rams. Results of Class 29, results of Class 30, your yearling Slickshorn Polled Dorsets. First place, and congratulations, Peyton DeWeese. Following our fall class, we will select your senior champion and reserve senior champion Polled Dorset Ram. If we could have that yearling ram back ringside and ready, we will need him in just a moment.
We're going to leave them the way they stand here. The buck I'm going to start with, just a little better, more touch to this buck. He comes up and meets your hand a little better for me today. Bucket, he gets around the ring nicely. He's really nice on his feet and legs. Bucket stands on some substance of bone a little bit more than our buck in second. Bucket is better in his shoulder and shallower. As far as when you be back and start analyze this buck, he's better out through his hip from his hooks to his pins compared to the buck we got in second. The buck in second, like I said, just like to stouten him up in his bone work a little bit and maybe just straighten him up or make him a little better from his hooks to his pins and drop him in his loin a little when you put him into motion compared to the one we win the class with.
Our next class will be your senior champion Polled Dorset Slickshorn Ram Drive. Results of Class 31, your Fallborn Polled Dorset Rams. First place, and congratulations, Hainsley Hatfield. Second place exhibitor was Peyton DeWeese. For our in the ring at this time, We need our first place yearling ram, Peyton DeWeese, and our first place fall Dorset ram, Hainsley Hatfield. Second place in our fall class was Peyton DeWeese.
We ain't gonna take a lot of time here. For me, today, the two fall bucks, you'll be your senior champion and reserve senior champion bucks. Congratulations.
Results of our senior champion drive. Your senior champion, Pole Dorset Slickshorn Ram, was exhibited by Hainsley Hatfield. Your reserve champion was exhibited by Peyton DeWeese. We now need Class 32. Class 32 Slickshorn Ram Lambs, just a single entry in this class.
Spring buck lamb. A buck lamb is once again. He comes up and meet his old rack comes up and meets your hands very nicely. He's really nice in his loin. He's very long-bodied, cheap for as much as stoutness and thickness as he's got. A buck is nice in his shoulder and his neck comes out right. Just an awful nice individual, and he could stand quite a bit more competition.
Results of our Class 32, your spring Pole Dorset Slickshorn Ram. First place and your junior champion. Congratulations, Hainsley Hatfield. We are now ready to select your champion and reserve champion, Slickshorn Pole Dorset Ram. If we could get that senior and reserve senior champion Ram and our junior champion Ram back in the ring, please.
I think for me today, pretty easy decision. I'm going to use your fall buck. He'll be your champion buck. I really like the added dimension and out through his hip and down through the center part of his leg compared to the. And then for reserve, I think it gets more close to the spring buck here or our reserve fall buck. For me, I'm going to go ahead and stick with my pair of fall bucks or senior champions. They'll be your champion reserve Dorset Slick Bucks.
Our next class will be pair of Pole Dorset Slick Rams. 2 entries. We have an entry from Hainsley Hatfield and an entry from Peyton DeWeese. Your overall champion, Dorset Slickshorn Ram, from your senior division, congratulations, Hainsley Hatfield. Your reserve overall champion, also from your senior division, congratulations, Peyton DeWeese. Now we are ready to start our female Slickshorn Pole Dorset show. Please bring in class 34. Class 34, yearling, Pole Dorset, Slickshorn, yearling ewes. These are January and February born. Our next class will be class 35. Class 35 fall, Pole Dorsets. We've had a couple questions regarding our Supreme Drive, so we will start our Supreme Drives about 10 minutes after the last show has concluded. We will select your Supreme Champion Ram first, and then we will select your Supreme Champion ewe.
You're in the first class, I guess. The ewe I'm going to start with, I'll be the first to admit, I'd like to change her height about her. Uh, I'd like to maybe just change the lower part of her shoulder a tick too. But when you get on top of her, she's really round bodied. She's opened up through the center part of her body, especially comes back into a bigger hip and got more stifle through the center part of her leg than the sheep we got in second. The sheep in second is the sheep that's smoother shouldered. She's more elegant up through her front end, and I like a lot of things about that. She's a sheep that gets out and travels really well. When I get up over top of her, I just don't think there's genuinely as much sheep here if you peel off the bark that she's carrying on her sides and up into her rack compared to the sheep we win the class with. For me today, she's got to stand second. The sheep in third is just a really genuine, honest sheep. A sheep that is real nice in her shoulder, her neck comes out right. She's got a really nice touch to her rack. Sheep, if we could just give her more muscling, especially right through the center part of her leg, get behind her, we can move her up in the class quite a bit. Then we get into a big sheep here next in line, a sheep that's once again is real nice shoulder and her neck comes out. Sheep, I just need to change the way she hooks up from her loin, her into her hip loin juncture compared to the ones above her, and give her a shot more muscle to get her up any higher. Then we round out the class with a sheep that gets a little plainer in her shoulder, gets a little more ducked down in her front end. Neck doesn't come out quite the way it needs to, and she's pretty soft to the touch compared to the ones above her today to get her up any higher.
Results of Class 34, your yearling Polled Dorset class. First place, and congratulations, Hainsley Hatfield. Second place exhibitor, Garrett Kennedy. Third, Peyton DeWeese. Fourth place was Caden Murphy. And fifth, Owen Wooldridge. Once again, congratulations to those Class 34 yearling Polled Dorset Slickshorn U exhibitors. Our next class will be 35. Class 35, that's Fallborn, Polled Dorset, Slickshorn, Ewes. Class 35 in the ring. Fitted Dorset, fitted Suffolk, fitted Suffolk exhibitors. We are ready to start your show in ring 2. Fitted Suffolk exhibitors. Your show is about to begin in ring 2.
Elam, I'm going to like to start with. I think she excels the class as far as in the front third of her body, the way her shoulder lays, her neck comes out. When she gets out and goes, she's really high head and extended. When you get your hands on her, she doesn't really disappoint you any. She's got a real nice touch to her. She comes back into a flat line. The hook's up very nice into her hip. I think this is an awful nice one to start this class. The Elam in second. The Ulam, it's got a really nice touch to her. Once again, a Ulam for me today, I'd like to sure drop her in her flank and just balance her up a little bit in the bottom side of her body. But another Ulam is real nice in her shoulder and her neck comes out right. A Ulam gets around the ring very free and easy. Ulam, like I said, if we can just drop her in her flank and balance her up better on the bottom side of her skeleton, I can start the class with this one pretty handily. The Ulam next in line, same thing. We just need to drop her in her flank versus her front part of her body. Ulam, it's got a really nice touch. She's big in her rack, big in her loin, out through her hip. We just need to change, rotate the body parts on her. Far as just got to get her deeper in her flank to get her up any higher today in class. Then we got a bigger skeleton Ulam here next in line. A Ulam is real nice as far as the front third of her body goes. A Ulam, when you get her into motion, she wants to get a little bit squirrely off her back legs. She wants to get a little higher in her chine or a little high in her loin for me today to get her up any higher in class. Then we round out with the Ulam. It just gets a little compact compared to the contemporaries that stood above her today. Just need to lengthen her out flank to flank. Now you just need to take a little bit of cover off this Ulam. She's handling soft compared to the ones above her today.
Our next class will be your senior champion and reserve senior champion drive. We need those first and second place yearlings and fall Ulams in the ring, please. Results of Class 35. First place and congratulations, Madeline Crouch. Second place was exhibited by Peyton DeWeese. Third, Hainsley Hatfield. Fourth place was also Hainsley Hatfield. And fifth place was exhibited by Peyton DeWeese. Once again, congratulations to those Class 35 Fall Poll Dorset Slickshorn Ulam exhibitors. In the ring at this time, we are ready to select your senior champion and reserve senior champion Poll Dorset U. From your yearling U class, your first place exhibitor was Hainsley Hatfield. Second, Garrett Kennedy. And once again, from your fall class, your first place exhibitor, Madeline Crouch. Second was Peyton DeWeese. Dorset exhibitors, we need those Class 36 Spring Dorset ewe lambs. Those are basically January 1st through January 8th ewe lambs. Class 36 Spring Polled Dorset Slick Shorn ewe lambs, born January 1 through January 8.
Well, thank you for me over here today in your senior champion Dorset Slick U Drive. For me, I'm going to stick with my fall ewe lamb. She's going to be your champion senior drive. And then we're going to follow up with the yearling ewe, and she'll be your reserve.
Results of your senior champion drive. Your senior champion from Class 35. Congratulations, Madeline Crouch on 47435. Your reserve senior champion out of your Class 34. Congratulations, Hainsley Hatfield on OH 0204 4038. In the ring right now, we have Class 36. Springborn, Polled Slick Shorn Dorsets, born January 1 through January 8. Dennis, we've got 4. I don't know if we've got an extra one. Oh, you're getting it. Results of our silent auction for the 12 by 18 custom sign or 3 by 2 banner from Stock Show Gear. Welty was the winning bidder. The Moscato Try This from Oliver Winery, Dick Reese was the winning bidder. He will be sharing that bottle of wine following our show. The lap quilt, homemade lap quilt, was won by Rex Decker. The Chicago's Pizza on top package. We've got glasses and koozies and t-shirts and a $50 gift card, was won by Nicole Mann. The terrarium lantern was won by Jim Moore. Show Fun jar full of chocolate was won by Ella and Sawyer. Biles or Bulls, I'm not sure which. Zella and Sawyer won. The watermelon basket was won by Jimmy K. Vandeventer. And the fall flower crate was won by Michelle Hasty. Come find Debbie. She's around, but usually in the office there by the food in the exhibit hall. She is looking for financial windfall. She will be happy to take cash, check. She will not take firstborn though.
We're on your slick short spring early class, I guess you'd call it. The ewe-lamb I'm going to start with, she's got the most touches anything we got in the class as far as her way her loin comes up. You meet your hand or rack. She comes out in a really big wide hip. Got plenty of muscle. Just an awful nice one to start this class. I think she balances up the best from the side for me today also. The ewe-lamb in second. Ewe-lamb is really nice when you get your hands on her as far as from 13th rib back. She's good out her hip. Ewe-lamb, she just maybe doesn't have the touch or as good out of her loin edges compared to the ewe-lamb we start the class with, and that's where we stand her in second. Then we come next in line, a sheep, just softer to touch, doesn't have as much expression of muscle, especially when you get back behind her in her lower part of her quarter. Just need to change that about her to get her up any higher today. Then we round out the class with the ewe-lamb. I just need to change the way her front third of her body's constructed. Need to get her neck shoved up more on the top side of her neck, shoulder. Ewe-lamb, it's pretty soft to the touch today compared to the ones that were above her also.
Our next class will be Class 37. Class 37 Spring Polled Dorset Slick Shorn ewe lambs. These ewe lambs were born January 24th through February 17th. Should have 3 entries in the class. Thomas Vandeventer is a scratch. Results of Class 36. Class 36, your early January Dorset ewe lambs. First place, and congratulations, is Thomas Vandeventer. Second place, Peyton DeWeese. Third, Caden Murphy. And fourth was Callie Woldridge. Once again, congratulations to those Class 36 early Polled Dorset Slick Shorn ewe lamb exhibitors. Following this Class 37, our next class will be pair of Dorset ewe lambs. Pair of slick shorn Dorset ewe lambs will be next.
I think for me today, pretty easy winner. The ewe-lamb I'm going to start the class with. She just gets out and gets around the ring better for me today. When you get your hands on her, she's got a really nice touch to her. She's out really square from her hooks to her pins and comes down into plenty of shape down in the lower part of her quarter. The ewe-lamb next in line, getting a little softer. I'd like to sure change the way she hooks up in her hip loin juncture. For me, ewe-lamb is standing on a really big foot as far as her foot size and her bone size. Ewe-lamb is extended nice up to her shoulder. We just need to change a few of them things, especially out there from her hooks to her pin, square up a little bit, give her a touch more muscle. The ewe-lamb next in line, pretty immature ewe lamb compared to the two of those above her as far as her handle. Ewe lamb for me today, I just need to change her, especially right out through her hooks to her pins and down into the center part of her leg. I just need to maybe make her hook up better in her hip loin. If we can change some of that about her and give her some more time, she's got would be higher up in class.
Results of our next class will be pair of ewe lambs. Should have 2 entries. Pair of Dorset ewe lambs should be next. Results of Class 37. Class 37, your late spring pulled Dorset ewe lambs. First place, and congratulations, Hayes Klotz. Second place exhibitor, Riley Kennedy. And third was Hainsley Hatfield. Our next class will be your junior champion and reserve junior champion drive. We need those first and second ewe lambs from class 36 and 37. Ringside and ready, please. Your results of Class 38, your first place pair of ewe lambs, congratulations, Hainsley Hatfield. Second place pair was exhibited by Peyton DeWeese. In the ring at this time, we are ready to select your junior champion and reserve junior champion, Pulled Dorset ewe. If we could get Thomas Vandeventer, first place from Class 36, and Peyton DeWeese, second place from Class 36. From Class 37, we need first place exhibitor Hayes Klotz and second place Riley Kennedy. We need that senior champion and reserve senior champion ringside and ready. We will be selecting your champion and reserve champion, Pulled Dorset ewe, following our junior champion drive.
It's been awful nice ewe lamb show. Not a lot of numbers, but I think the quality's been awful good. There's 2 individuals I think it comes down to, from my mind, pretty handily. There's one that I think's awful good, and she's really out there in her loin edges and her hip. That's the ewe lamb that comes out of the first division. She's going to be your junior champion ewe. And then we're going to come back, and the young lady that was out of our spring class, or the second class, she's going to be your reserve junior champion, Dorset Slick ewe.
And your junior champion from Class 36, congratulations, Thomas Vandeventer. And your reserve junior champion from Class 37, congratulations, Hayes Klotz. Now we are ready to select your champion Polled U and reserve champion Polled Dorset U. So from our senior division, from Class 35, we need Madeline Crouch, your senior champion, and your reserve senior champion from Class 34, Hainsley Hatfield. And once again, your junior champion from Class 36, Thomas Vandeventer, and your reserve junior champion from Class 37, Hayes Klotz.
Let's give these young folks a nice round of applause for this show. There's the four I've got out here. There's two that kind of rise to the top for me. Once again, not to repeat myself, but the UM out of the junior champion U, boy, you get your hands on this one. She's just impressive as far, especially out on her loin edges. She's big and full and just right out on her edges. She comes out in a big flat hip like they need to. She's got good touch. She's really firm to the touch. Her ribs are right. I think when you get her into motion, she's more than satisfactory for me today. I'm going to use that U. She's going to be your champion, Slick Shirt Dorset U. And then we're going to use the senior champion U for reserve.
And your champion, Polled Dorset U from your junior division, congratulations, Thomas Vandeventer on Bowers 3211. Your reserve champion, Polled U, was Madeline Crouch on 47435. We have two Dorset flocks. Our last class here in the North Ring. We have a flock from Hainsley Hatfield and a flock from Peyton DeWeese. Results of your Polled Dorset flock. First place, and congratulations, Hainsley Hatfield. Your second place flock was exhibited by Peyton DeWeese. Well, that does conclude our show here in the North Ring. We will wait for the South Ring to get finished up, and then we will get ready to start our Supreme Champion drives. We'll give everybody plenty of notice. We will select your Supreme Champion Ram and then select your Supreme Champion U. But we'll give everybody plenty of notice on when to head this way. So go back to your pens, take a break, get you a cool drink, and we'll